It was nearly midnight, and the rain poured like it hadn't in years, drenching the empty streets of Chicago. Emily Carter, a single mom in her early 30s, gripped the steering wheel of her old, rusty Toyota as she drove home from her second job at the diner. Her eyes were heavy with exhaustion, but her heart carried a weight even heavier than her tired body. Rent was due, her son needed new shoes, and life had been a constant uphill battle since her husband left 2 years ago. She wasn't bitter, though. Emily had learned to survive with quiet strength. Tonight, she just wanted to get home, kiss her sleeping little boy, and collapse into bed. But fate had other plans. As she turned the corner, headlights caught a figure stumbling near the curb. A man in a suit, drenched, clearly drunk, trying to wave down a car that wasn't there. Emily hesitated. This was Chicago. Picking up strangers at night wasn't exactly safe. But something about him, maybe the way he looked utterly lost, made her stop. She rolled down the window. "Hey, you okay?" she asked cautiously. The man turned, his hair plastered to his forehead, his expensive watch glinting under the streetlight. I can't find my car," he slurred. "Need home." Emily sighed. She should drive away. She had a child waiting at home. But instead, she unlocked the door. "Get in. I'll take you." He collapsed into the passenger seat, mumbling his address. Emily didn't recognize the neighborhood, but judging by the way he was dressed, it was somewhere way out of her league. The ride was mostly silent except for the sound of rain and his occasional apologies. Up close, Emily noticed he wasn't much older than her, maybe late 30s, with a tiredness in his eyes that looked deeper than just one too many drinks. When they finally pulled up to a sleek, modern penthouse building, Emily's suspicion was confirmed: this man was rich. "Thanks," he muttered, fumbling for his wallet. "How much do I owe you?" Emily shook her head. "Nothing. Just, get inside safely, okay?" He blinked at her, as if surprised. "No one does anything for free anymore," he whispered, almost to himself. Emily gave a small smile. Maybe they should. Emily didn't think much about it after that night. She had bigger problems: bills, groceries, her son's school trip she couldn't afford. But 3 days later, as she served coffee at the diner, a familiar face walked in. Sober this time. Clean-shaven. And carrying flowers. It was him, the drunk stranger. "Hi," he said, smiling awkwardly. "I'm Daniel Reed, CEO of Reed Enterprises. You drove me home the other night." Emily froze mid-order. A CEO? She'd assumed he was just some rich guy, but this was different. "I just wanted to thank you," Daniel continued. "And maybe, take you to dinner? Properly this time. As a thank you." Emily laughed softly. "You don't owe me anything." "Maybe I want to," he said, his eyes sincere. Dinner turned into coffee. Coffee turned into long conversations. Emily learned Daniel wasn't the arrogant millionaire she expected. He was lonely. Workaholic. Recently divorced. Success had given him everything, except real happiness. And he learned Emily was more than just a single mom struggling to make ends meet. She was funny, compassionate, and stronger than she realized. What started as gratitude slowly grew into something neither expected. One evening, Daniel surprised Emily at the diner with something that left her speechless. "I know you've been working 2 jobs to make ends meet," he said softly. "I don't want to overstep, but I've set up a college fund for your son. Consider it a thank you for changing my life that night." Emily's eyes filled with tears. "Daniel, you can't." "I can," he said firmly. "Because you reminded me money means nothing if you don't use it to make someone's life better." Months later, Emily wasn't just the single mom scraping by. She had left the diner job. Her son had opportunities she never dreamed of. And as she stood next to Daniel at her son's first school play, their hands intertwined, Emily realized something. One small act of kindness, picking up a drunk stranger on a rainy night, had rewritten the entire story of her life. Sometimes, the love you're waiting for finds you in the most unexpected ways.